Welcome to the On Deck podcast. This is the Best Ball series sponsored by Underdog. If you don't have Underdog yet, download it. Use the promo code LineStar. When you do, you'll get a nice bonus deposit match up to $1,000. So make sure you use that promo code LineStar today. Alongside Tyler Wiemann, I'm Shannon Sommerville. And in today's video, the topic is top 5 MLB players we cannot get enough of in our best ball drafts. Tyler, how you feeling on this Thursday as we get ready to give out some more best ball insight? What do you think?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited that best ball season or baseball season is right around the corner, and best ball season as well in the drafting season. So
and there's a lot of players that really have some value. I think in this top 5 list here, we're kind of hitting a lot of different categories. We'll have a couple outfielders, infielders, and a pitcher as well. Just kind of there's different storylines for each one, but each one we think provides some unique value, and that's why we just can't get enough of them in our best ball drafts. Again, if you haven't downloaded Underdog, go ahead and do so. Use that promo code LineStar. And before we get started with this video, do us a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below, let us know how your best ball drafting is going. Without further ado, let's get into our top 5 players, and we're going to start off with the Chicago Cubs first baseman, Michael Busch. Currently being drafted at ADP 227.6, LineStar's rank is 160. Back in 2024, Busch, nice slash line there, 248, 335, 440 with 21 home runs and 65 RBIs. Tyler, is this guy getting a little bit overlooked at his current ADP, considering his barrel rate was 41st in MLB last season, 11.2, and this was a top prospect just a couple of years ago for the Dodgers.
Yeah, and not only that, they're projecting him to hit 4th in this lineup, which is a upgraded lineup with Kyle Tucker in it. He has more protection around him than he had last year. I really, really like his upside here. And I mean, it's not like he did bad last year. He had 1,095 underdog points last season, and now he's in a better offense. And with another, year under his belt to learn. And he is absolutely crushing spring training. 252 average, 500 on base, 677 slugging. He has been on a mission, and I really like the trajectory he's on.
Yeah, definitely. I can't quite figure out. I feel like some of the projections that I've seen on him have just been not really taking into consideration the improvement you expect to see after a guy just had his basically first full season in Major League Baseball. Don't you expect some improvement there? And I think that there's a lot of projections out there that aren't exactly accounting for that. So I think that's where you can really find some edge with this particular pick.
Yeah, I just keep going to him over and over again. I have 40% of him, and I've drafted 100 teams.
All right, well, let's move it along here from Michael Busch. We're going to a pitcher now, and Seth Lugo for the Kansas City Royals. The righty is currently being drafted in Underdog Best Ball at 137. LineStar's ranks 171. Now, Lugo's an interesting one. Last year, career high in a lot of categories: wins, strikeouts, innings pitched. His ERA was 3, which was the lowest over the last 5 seasons, 229 opponent average, and just had a stellar season. Do you think that's kind of repeatable? And if so, do you think where he's being drafted is appropriate right here?
Well, this is the thing. His opponent average, you said it's 229. His career average is 237. Opponent career average. So it's not like it was significantly better. His K rate was lower than his average. The hard hit rate was slightly, below his average. So it's not like these statistics were really that much better. It's just he got some more innings. He has learned how to pitch better. And I think the knowledge of pitching that he's gained over the years is really starting to translate into more success. The other thing here, when you look at the top pitchers in Underdog scoring, they're at 1,300 fantasy points. Lugo is being taken in the 12th round, and last year he had 1,152. So you're saying, I get 10 rounds less is the cost that I have to pay for him, and I only lose 150 fantasy points.
Yeah.
give me that again. Sign me up. He has been over 150 innings the last 2 years. And I like his upside. I like his durability. I like his consistency. And remember, in Underdog, the quality starts and win bonuses are a big deal. He is a guy that works deep into games, so
Yeah.
more likely to give us those. I do have to say he has struggled in spring. So if there is a reason to jump off,
Yeah.
it's maybe first time over 200 innings last year and that he's struggling this year or so
Yeah.
far to start spring.
Definitely he's an innings eater, like you mentioned, struggling in spring, but a lot of times I feel like pitchers sometimes try new things, like are testing out different things in spring training. I don't know how much weight to give to that.
Yeah.
With
Under
Lugo, I think I liked how you kind of characterized him as a guy who's kind of learned how to pitch better because he has lost a little speed off of that fastball.
Yeah.
But he's managed to craft his repertoire a little bit more, figured out some other pitches, and has really kind of honed his craft. So now
He
last season, we're starting to see all of that kind of fall into place
Yeah.
for him. As pitchers get older, they're going to get a little bit craftier. And
Mhm.
I just hope with him, I think my only concern would be like, because he's such an innings eater, you worry about injury, but that's kind of with everyone across the board. So
Yeah, but
nothing you can predict there.
he hasn't really dealt with too many injuries in his career. I mean, he's 6'4", like 230 pounds. He's a big guy. I don't think I think he can continue to eat innings. And, you know, this late in the draft, that is a very nice commodity to have when you have the quality start bonus, you got the win bonus. And I've been taking a lot of them because he's also right at the end of kind of a drop off in pitcher. So,
Mhm.
there's a little cliff behind him, and I've been snagging a lot of them.
Sometimes you just gotta go with the trusty old veterans,
Hmm.
like our next guy, Paul Goldschmidt, now with a new team, the New York Yankees. He's the first baseman for the Pinstripes, and ADP currently 117. LineStar ranks him at 79. Now, in 2024, Goldie was slashing 245, 302, 414 with 22 home runs, 65 RBI. 6 games at Yankee Stadium, though, Tyler. I looked up what his career average was there. 462 average, 731 slugging. I know it's a small sample size, but hey, venues matter. And the fact that Paul Goldschmidt now gets to play half his games at Yankee Stadium, I like his prospects for 2025. How about you?
Yeah, and the stadium boost is a big reason why he's here. We're getting a ballpark bump. We're getting him in a much better offense. He's more protected in this lineup. He's gonna hit, probably third or fourth and be surrounded by very good hitters. I like his upside. He only had, he had a big drop off last year. 1,130 fantasy points in 154 games. The same amount of games in 2023. He had like 245 more points. So there was a huge drop off. Now, I don't think that was totally just due to his age. I think
Hmm.
that St. Louis offense just
Yeah.
continued to decline last year.
Yeah.
Arenado looked terrible. Goldie looked terrible. They just weren't really producing much, and I think that was part of it. Now, I don't expect him to go back to his MVP type ways, but I think he could very well easily get back to the 2023 type numbers and be a real benefit to this Yankees offense. And I know they lost Soto, but I actually think this offense is going to be a little bit better than it was last year. Last year was just so top heavy, whereas this year,
Hmm.
I think they have some consistency throughout the lineup, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Goldie. It was just a couple years ago, 3 years ago that he was he was an MVP.
Yeah.
So I think the talent is still there and at a new venue. And like you mentioned, in a lineup now where there's, a lot of depth, or more depth than last year. They're having to fill some holes. He's going to step up into kind of a veteran leadership role. And I like the spot for Goldie here. So excited to see what he can do for the Yankees, but more importantly for everyone in their best ball draft. Hopefully he can deliver there. But Tyler, as you mentioned, I just want to point out to everyone that watches our show on a regular basis that they probably know that I'm a Yankees fan. I want to let everybody know that, Tyler was the one who was pulling for the Yanks here. It wasn't me, okay? I did not pay Tyler to have
That
Yankees
is
on the
true.
show.
along with the next guy.
Yeah, so let's just go right to him then. The Martian, Jasson Dominguez, Yankees outfielders, one of the top prospects for the Yankees organization, ADP 72.9, line stars rank is 115. In the minors in 2024, the slash line 314, 376, 504 with 11 home runs and 16 RBIs in just 58 games. He came up to the majors, kind of struggled a little bit, but he's now ensured an everyday role without Juan Soto and Alex Verdugo. So he's going to get the opportunity that he's definitely earned. Prior to 2024, he came up, had a cup of coffee, and was just launching home runs left and right at Yankee Stadium. It was awesome. So he's got the power. He's also a candidate to bat leadoff. So this is an excellent position. I'm full in on the Martian. I also hear he's got a new beard now that he's fully embracing the new rule change to the Yankees where they can grow out their facial hair. I'm all in on the Martian. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, he just has a rare speed power combo. There's not that many guys. We only had 19 guys last year go 2020, and he could be a 2020 guy on a very good offense or one of the top offenses in the league. You talked about that splash he made in 2023. He had 4 home runs in 8 games. He was crushing the ball and then unfortunately got hurt. And he's been a top prospect for years now. So now is really his time to shine. And I'm excited for it. He is going, kind of early, like 73 is his ADP. We have him ranked much lower than that. Of everybody we're talking about, I do have the least amount of him, but that's just really because,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there trying to get him
Yeah.
because that upside is there. And most of the outfielders that were able to go to 2020 last year are all being drafted in the top couple rounds. So that's
Yeah.
really, you're taking that and you're taking the chance of next year having to draft them in the second or third round.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dominguez also, there was some question marks about where he'd play and if he'd fit in into the left field position. And defensively, for sure, he's had some struggles adjusting to left field. But I think given he's been good in center field, so I think like his movement now he'll be able to track the ball a bit better. I think that's just comes with repetition back there. So I think he'll be fine. I'm excited to see what Jasson Dominguez brings to the table this year. Now that kind of this is his time to shine, as you said. So going with those two Yankees there. And no, I did not pay Tyler to put those in there. But next up, let's go to the Guardians outfielder Lane Thomas, ADP 92.8, line star rank 84, 237, 309, 400 slash line, 15 home runs, 63 RBIs. He also came through with a clutch home run last year in the playoffs. Nonetheless, Lane Thomas, what intrigues you about him, especially given it was a little bit hard to kind of take his season last year into consideration. He started with the Nationals and got traded to the Guardians. There's definitely a little bit of a drop off when he went to the Guardians, but he was also he dealt with an injury at a certain point. So, what do you make of Lane Thomas and his overall prospects for 2025?
Well, you just talked about how last year was a little rocky for him. He had a big change in being traded, a lot of stuff going on. In 2023, this is a guy that had 28 home runs and 19 stolen bases. We're talking about, we were just talking about Jasson Dominguez being a 2020 possible guy. And this is a guy that already has pretty much done it. And he's being drafted multiple rounds below Dominguez. The lineup around him isn't quite as good, and it's much harder to stack Cleveland than it is Yankees. So I understand, the pricing of him a little bit, but I think the upside is just, too high. It's a guy that clearly can get 2020. Last year, he had 15 home runs and 31 stolen bases. Our LineStar projections this year are 17 and home runs, 22 stolen bases. He's at the very end of this outfield cliff. After him, outfield gets a lot thinner, and he's playing decently in spring. He's hitting 250 as a 542 slugging, 2 home runs, 1 stolen base. And if we saw the numbers from last year in Cleveland, that home run rate went way up in that stadium. So I'm interested about his prospects and that organization. Even though the lineup doesn't look that great on paper right now, somehow, they
Yeah.
always kind of produce. So I am high on him, and I think he probably outdoes our projections.
All right. So those are our 5 guys that we love in best ball drafting. Let us know what guys you're interested in your best ball drafts, who you have a lot of in the comments. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below. It helps us out. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to download Underdog so you can take part in these best ball drafts. The Dinger, we're always drafting, and we'll be doing some live drafts throughout the month. So make sure you are already subscribed to the LineStar YouTube channel, sign up for notifications, because we will be doing some live drafts, and you can hop in some of those drafts with us. Again, Underdog, use the promo code LineStar. You can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash by using that promo code. So make sure promo code LineStar is the key there. Good luck in all of your best ball drafting. Tune into the LineStar YouTube channel for more best ball content. We'll see you next time.